What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. So there I was, just about to head off to bed, when all of a sudden I go through the Twitter feed and I see Rugby 22 have updated with some new news, which I thought looked absolutely awesome, until you look into it just a little bit more. Rugby 22 have now officially released all of their licensed teams 1 week before the game comes out. And I've got a feeling a lot of people are going to be really, really disappointed by this. What, of course, we will do is check it on screen for you guys to see. Now, it's all sort of long, so it might be quite difficult to see. So we'll start off at the top here. We've got the national teams. This is the teams we knew, of course, we're going to be coming. We did do a video on this previously when they announced their international team. So we've got the All Blacks, Wallabies, France, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, Japan, Fiji, Italy and Georgia. Now, they're all of the licensed international teams, and as I said in that video, it's a real shame we've lost the likes of USA, Russia, Samoa, Namibia, all those sort of tier 2, tier 3 nations that I personally really like playing as in games like Rugby 20. And we've lost a lot of those national teams. It was a bit of a shame. Great, we get to play as the All Blacks and the Wallabies, but two of the main complaints that people had about Rugby 20, no England, no South Africa. Here we go again, Rugby 22, no England, no South Africa. Now everyone's going to be stuck over at Rugby Challenge 4, and it sort of divides the community a bit about what game to actually buy if you've not picked up either of these games yet. But now on top of that, there is the release of all the club teams that have come out. So I'll check it back on screen for you guys. So, of course, now we have the United Rugby Championship, or the Ultimate Rugby Championship. I've heard a couple of people refer to it as. So we've got the teams in there. So it looks like the entire team roster from there, as far as I'm aware, including the likes of the Stormers and the Cell Sea Sharks. So there's no South African international team, but there is South African club level teams, which is really interesting. I'm quite surprised, actually. I didn't know whether South African clubs would fall under the same sort of umbrella as South African international in terms of licenses and stuff. Apparently not, because they've been able to get all of the championship there. We've also got all of the teams from the top 14, which obviously Nacon, a French studio, so you know they want to get a lot of the French teams in there, and of course we saw it on the box art, so many of the players in there as well. And finally, they've now released that they are also got all of the Pro D2 teams. So they've now released everything, I believe. People have been putting in the comments on this that, you know, is this all the teams now? They don't seem to be mentioning anything, but why would you ever make this graphic and leave any off, especially a week out from the game? And one of the most consistent comments I've seen on Twitter is, where are all the English clubs? Now, this is going to be a real shame for this sort of game. Like I said, Rugby 20 originally did not have South Africa or England international, along with New Zealand and Australia, which we now have in this one. However, if you're anyone who actually caught the stream we did, the final time we played Rugby 20 on stream, I did actually take you guys through a way that you could actually create an official England team, even though they weren't licensed, because they had all of the English clubs in the game. You could actually build a fully fledged, licensed England team, and it made sense, and they could play well, and the team was actually really good. I used them in a ton of videos, especially for the Six Nations and so on, in terms of the previews, where we play a game of rugby in the background and then talk about the official teams over the top. However, it looks like we're not going to get to do that in this game. There's no English clubs. There's no English international. There's no England in Rugby 22. And I find this absolutely astonishing. This, for me, I feel like they've released this thinking this is a great way to, like, woo, look at all the license teams we've got. I think this is about to tank their sales of this game to no end. How many people, I'm genuinely interested, how many people watching now are based in England, were looking forward to playing as English club level teams or an England international team, that will now not pick up this game because of this information coming out? I bet there's genuinely a couple hundred, couple thousand people that will now not pick up this game because they know for a fact their club level team is not in this, their international team is not in this, they can't make their international team out of the club level team. I find this genuinely astonishing. It's also a bit of a surprise just on all ends. I mean, really, we're all sort of losing out here. England rugby will now be absolutely not advertised at all through this game. You know, in terms of World Rugby, none of your teams are shown off in this game. I don't believe any of the English teams are going to be shown off in any other rugby game coming out this year anytime soon. So they're going to lose out there, unfortunately. Also, as a game studio, I'm really surprised they haven't gone out of the way to actually go and get teams from the English club in order to actually do exactly what you did in Rugby 20 by being able to create your own England team. I thought that was such a good workaround, the way they did that in order for people to actually make those teams. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. So from a studio perspective, also a very strange choice not to have lent into that. And then for us, finally, as gamers, we lose all of the England teams, whether it's your international or the club level teams. Now, I never got to play a great deal as the English club level teams, not massively personally important to me. However, I did really enjoy getting to play as an England team internationally and being able to build one. But I can see something like this absolutely tanking their game. I cannot believe they have released this in such a positive way, thinking this is going to really boost their game. Granted, this will be probably good for terms in like sales in places like France, being able to get all those French teams in there. It's nice to see the United Rugby Championship in there. If you're a Scotland or a Wales fan, you'll be able to get that in there. However, for someone like me who makes content on YouTube, likes to do lots of rugby games and stuff, and uses the footage in different videos and stuff, especially when doing streams and stuff, I bet a lot of people are going to be really disappointed that they won't get to see their English teams at all sort of shown off in this game. But there we have it, guys. It's just going to be a quick video today. Not a lot else to talk about there. I mean, I could go through all the individual teams, you know, as we're going, but they've got all their logos there. You guys can see it. You can also go onto their Twitter page and stuff and look at the teams yourself. It is basically all of those 3 leagues and nothing more, plus the 10 international teams. So it seems like Rugby 22 is actually struggling a bit. They've actually just lost licenses across the board. I am genuinely astonished they still claim to have 60 plus licenses. Actually, now that I really think about it, I actually think there's below 60. The advertising for this game is 60 plus licensed teams. I count sort of 58, 59. I don't even think it's right. I think they've lost beyond that many. Now, the original Rugby 20 had 69 licensed teams, I believe. So they've actually lost licenses from one game to another, basically just to be able to land things like the All Blacks and the Wallabies. Now, it's going to be up to you guys whether you decide whether having those 2 international teams is going to be worth dropping like 15 other teams from the game. For me, I can see this being a real negative, but I'm really, really interested to know what you guys think, especially some of the England-based subscribers that were thinking about picking up this game. Is this now the sort of final blow for you? Will you not be picking up the game because of this announcement coming out? I'm genuinely interested to know what you guys think. Is it positive? Is it negative for you? Make sure you drop it down in the comments. If you enjoyed this little bit of news and you want to keep up to date with Rugby 22 as it comes out, especially when it's released, and we will be playing it a bunch on the channel, so make sure you subscribe to the channel just to keep up to date with all of the latest videos as they come out. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye bye.